Now, what we prepare today, it's a meal completely made from leftovers. Doesn't have to be a sad affair. Growing up, we often have leftovers on our dinner table because the way of eating in a Chinese meal is usually one dish per person, and reheating or repurposing some leftovers can be a great time saver, especially on a busy weeknight meal. But enjoying leftovers doesn't just stop at your weeknight dinner table. For example, if you look at some classic dishes from Lunar New Year, you will see the essence of it is using leftover ingredients and turning it into something equally tasty. For example, this ham yun, sticky rice balls in a outer umami soup from coastal Guangdong, or yi guo, the supreme pot that you can see from Shandong to Zhejiang. So we'll show you some general basic ideas on how to reheat and repurpose Chinese food, but even if you're feeling a little less ambitious, we still hope we can give you some basic ideas on how to reheat your Chinese dishes. So for rice and fried rice, reheating them is super simple. Just put it in a shallow bowl for even heat distribution. Gently spread it out a bit, sprinkle some water on it, cover with a plate, and toss in the microwave. Nuke on medium high for 3 minutes ish for a plate like this. And then they'll be as good as fresh. Then next, we have noodles. Soup noodles just straight up doesn't keep, so we are mainly talking about fried noodles and mixed noodles here. Similar to rice, you can always nuke your noodles, but downside is that it will get overly dry and clumpy. So best way to reheat fried noodles dishes would be steaming. Let the steam provide that much needed moisture to offset the hard and dry texture from starch retrogradation and bring back the springiness. So just evenly lay your noodles on a shallow plate, steam over boiling water on high for 6 minutes ish, and then you're done. After we sort the starches, next we have saucy stir fries, which is a very big category, so we'll have two dishes to show you how to deal with them. The first one is Mapo tofu. Dishes like Mapo tofu has a very thick sauce and it congeals after sitting in the fridge. If you reheat it directly, whether in microwave or over stove top, the sauce will thicken even more as the water evaporates, and you will often end up with a gloop. So a better way to do this would be putting it into a wok, add a little bit of water, turn the heat to medium high and wait till the sauce slowly loosen up. Then gently fold the water in. When it starts to bubble, you can add more water to adjust the consistency to your liking. Bring everything to a boil, then it's done. Besides mapo tofu, sweet and sour pork and dishes alike are another common type of stir fries with a thick slurry that's difficult to reheat. And for a combo of deep fried stuff with a thick sauce, the best way to reheat would be giving it a quick fry in a wok. So first, long yao. Get your wok piping hot, shut off the heat, add in the oil, about half tablespoon. Give it a swirl to get a nice non-stick surface. Heat on medium high. Toss the pork in with the sauce. Swirl in some water. I like to start with a couple tablespoons. Mix everything together and bring to a boil. Give it a taste. See if it needs some salt. If the taste is good, shut off the heat and take it out. So this is definitely not crispy, but it's still tasty. You can enjoy it as it is, or even better, don't be afraid to turn it into something else. For a dish like this, we always like to pour it over some crunchy instant noodles and turn it into a lazy man's two-faced yellow style tao mein. So roast meat is another common dish you can get from Chinese restaurants. It's great when it's fresh from the oven, but it's also a very good candidate for making a new dish when reheating. So again, don't be afraid to turn your leftover into something else. My family loves to use roast meat in stir fries, and this kind of roast meat stir fry with vegetables is actually a staple in Cantonese cuisine. For example, like this classic 九黃銀牙炒叉燒 or this 酸橋頭炒燒肉 or even this 茶餐廳 classic 雪菜火鴨絲炆米. So for example, we have some roast goose here. We usually like to add some hearty vegetables to it. So here we are using half a head of broccoli today. Give the veg a quick blanch, take it out and strain once it turns dark green. Then to a wok, 狼油. Toss in the vegetable, add in salt, sugar, a touch of soy sauce, and maybe some MSG. Why not? Give it a quick mix. Then toss in the goose and all its juices and fry it for about a minute till it warms up. Then heat off, put it on a plate, a stir-fried goose with broccoli. It's done. Moving on, we have deep fried stuff. Leftover deep fried stuff, it's always soggy. But crispy turns soggy, it's a great texture. And you can totally turn your leftover deep fried stuff into a whole new dish. A common practice in Chinese cooking is actively putting deep fried stuff in soupy things. For example, like the classic 砂锅丸子 or 酥肉豆腐脑. And that's what we usually do at home too. Here we get some salt and pepper ribs. It's soggy and greasy, but let's turn it into a quick fluffit soup. First, here a small handful of dry shrimps that's soaked in hot water for half an hour. Toss it all in with 2 cups of water, bring it to a boil, toss in some Napa cabbage, cook for a minute. And then here we have some reconstituted glass noodles. This was just 25 grams of thin glass noodles soaked in cool water for about half an hour. And then add that into the soup. Cook for another minute, then finally in with the ribs. Bring it all to a boil. And then add in the seasoning, sprinkle on some scallion or cilantro, and then your quick fluffy soup. It's done. You can even play with the seasoning and turn it into a hot and sour soup, because why not? Finally, we can talk about baos, buns, and dim sums, which we got so many questions on how to store and reheat them. So, general rule of thumb, when you are making your dim sum, you should cook them all the way through, like steam your siu mai, ha gao, or baos all the way till they're done. And then let it cool down, portion it out into airtight bags, and then you can freeze them. Frozen dim sum keeps and reheats so well that supermarkets here have a massive selection of frozen dim sum that you can just grab, steam, and eat. So, for example, to reheat, here we have some anshuan flaky broken bao from the video a few weeks back. No need to thaw, just put it in a steamer or on a plate over a steaming rack. Let it steam over boiling water on high for 12 minutes. Then the baos will be as good as fresh. Notice that the time to steam really depends on the size of your dim sum and baos. But generally speaking, when something is frozen, you will at least need to steam it on high for 10 minutes or more. If you are reheating sticky rice stuff like mochi or zongzi, it will even take longer, like 15 minutes or more, for it to regain its chewiness. If you're just reheating something that's not frozen, the benchmark time for reference can be shortened to 5 minutes. And if you are reheating the deep fried stuff or baked goods, just toss them in the oven like you would reheating bread and pastries. So right, these are some general ideas on how to reheat certain types of Chinese food. Again, the time it takes really depends on how much food that you are working with. So please use your own judgment to see if your food is done reheating or not. And finally, check out the naan recipes in the description box. A big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon. And of course, subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.